Hello out there, everyone, and thank you for stopping by. Welcome, as always, to the Ed Library. This is my office here where I do most of my writing. And what I'm going to be doing in the videos that follow is I'm going to be reading to you from this book. Can you see it here? The Consultant. And this is a novel that was published in 2019. And the basic idea behind The Consultant is this. What would happen, just imagine for a moment, if an ordinary American on a business trip in Japan is kidnapped by North Korean agents and taken to North Korea for a specific purpose? Now, as we get into the readings, you'll find out exactly what that purpose is, or if you go ahead and get the book, we'll talk about that in just a moment. But that's the basic idea for the story. Now, this actually, even though The Consultant is a work of fiction, it's actually based on some real life headlines. There have been many cases in the past of the North Korean government kidnapping citizens from other countries, taking them, absconding with them to North Korea, and forcing them to work for the North Korean government in a variety of capacities. So, like, for example, there was a rather famous case at the time in the 1970s in which North Korean agents kidnapped a South Korean movie producer and a famous South Korean actress, took them to Pyongyang and forced them to work to building up the North Korean film industry. Absolutely true. You can Google it. It's out there. There were many cases in the 1970s as well of North Korean agents kidnapping citizens from Japan and forcing them to either work as language instructors in the Japanese language or to work as technical advisors in a variety of capacities. And during the time I spent in Japan, that was a very often discussed issue in the press. It was called the Rachi no Mondai, or the kidnapping problem. I learned the Japanese language many years ago, and I worked for several Japanese companies and spent a lot of time over there. So the Consultant, it begins in Japan, although the action very quickly moves to North Korea. And the story begins with the most mundane of events. Barry Lawson, the hero of our story, is celebrating the signing of a new he's an independent business consultant, and he's celebrating the signing of a new contract with a major Japanese automotive components manufacturer called Yukimura Electronics. Now, Yukimura Electronics is a company that I made up, but it's based on a lot of Japanese companies that I actually dealt with over the years. And before he gets too far into this dinner, he notices an interesting stranger from across the room. Now, I won't, rather than giving too many reveals here, we'll just go ahead and jump into the story. Before we start, I will mention the Consultant is available on Amazon in either paperback or Kindle. But if you just want to listen to the readings here, that's fine as well. This isn't so much about selling you the book as it is just telling the story. So anyway, without further ado, let's jump into the readings of The Consultant.